So welcome to our lesson 8 of the Emmanuel Juma piano lesson. So in our last lesson, remember we learned how to place the finger when playing the melodies or the broken chords or the arpeggios of the different major and minor scale. For example, the A minor scale, the C major scale, and the F sharp. We say today we are going to look at chords. So just in introduction of what a chord is. A chord is a combination of 3 or more notes in an octave of a key. You can just say in that simpler term, because we are going to see, for example, in our C key, our key C here, we are going to maybe combine 3 or more notes, but in the same octave. So that is what I can define for you. So basically in learning chords, we only tackle the triad chords. In basically triad coming from the word three, so meaning we are going to look at 3 notes in each octaves of any key. 3 notes, but we have some notes here which can be extended chords, or any chord which is more than 3 notes. We have extended or added notes. For example, here in our C, I'm going to teach you how you are going to form the chords in a formula just now. But for example, in our C, we are going to see, we have said we are going to learn the basics, the three notes. But added, we are going to like add this. You have seen we have more than 3. So we are in our lessons, we are going to be tackling them. But for now, the 3. So in seeing the definition of the chords, so I'm going to teach you how the chords are formed. But you must first know that we have many types of different chords. We have the major chords, we have the minor chords, we have the major 7th chords, we have the like the augmented chord, the suspended chords. We have so many types of chord. But for now, we are going to see the major. The major chords are going to help us locate those other chords like the minor. So we take the formula of the major, we just add or subtract something to get the formula of other keys, like other chords like the minor chord, augmented, suspended, and all those are sort of as you're going to learn them. So in introducing just the major chord, which will be our major subject to help us know more about chords, I've said we are going to learn about triad. 3 notes only in each keys. So for example, here our C will be the 3, the 3. Our F will also be the 3. Our F sharp will also find the 3. So that is what I mean by triad chords. Our G here. So that is what I mean by 3, 3, 3, 3 in each octave. Remember, an octave has 8 notes in it, so we only pick 3 for the triad chords, the 3 notes. So the formula of getting the major scale, we are going to use the knowledge of the interval. Remember, interval, we said grand note, our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, as you have repeated it in so many lessons. So our first, so using the formula of the interval, that is how we are going now to get the formula of the major chords. So they are constructed from the firsts, the thirds, the fifths, and many other notes. But remember to master the formula of the interval so that you can master the formula of the chords. So a major chord, for instance, is found by playing 3 notes, and the 3 notes will be concentrated on the first. For example, in the key of C here. So the first, the third in the interval, and the fifth in the interval. So that will be a major chord in the C. So remember the first, the third, and the fifth. So for it to sound better, we are going to add the octave. Remember our grand note here is the C. So we have an octave of C, and also to the lower we have the C. So adding them, you see it's sounding something good. So remember first, the first, the third, and the fifth in the interval is what makes a major chord. So using the formula of the first, the third, and the fifth, maybe in the F sharp, remember we have 8 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first, the third, remember your interval must run inside the major scales. Don't play anything outside. For example, if I play, that will not be our correct F sharp major scale. So the correct one. So our intervals must run in the correct formula of the major scale. So for instance, getting the chord of this key, remember we have seen the C, so getting the chord of the F sharp, we are going to count the first, third, the fifth. Remember first, third, the fifth. So grand note, if I say F sharp, you remember the grand note will be our first one. So the F sharp, which I've said. So the first, skip the second. Remember first, third, fifth. In the major scale, first, third, and fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. First, third, fifth. So I'm bringing it here so that I can play with a combination of the bass line, the octave. So I'll play something like this. So going to the the key F, our grand note will be the F, and that will be our first. So we count the first. Remember the correct formula of the major scale, so we get the interval in there. So our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, and 8. So again, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, and 8. So remember the formula of the major chords, the first, the third, and the fifth. So the first, third, the fifth, then I'm going to add an octave here of the grand note, same one here and same one. Then I lower the octave. So that will be the major chord of C. Any key like the G, or we use any key, just any key, the G. So remember the correct formula of the interval, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8. So we have said the first, the third, and the fifth. So the first, third, the fifth. Add the octaves here, the same as the grand note. So use that formula in finding all the major chords of any key, Remember the first, the third, the fifth. The first, the third, the fifth. So the first, the third, the fifth. For instance, here in our G sharp. So the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So the first, the third, the fifth in G sharp. So remember the octave will be the same as the grand note. We're going to play something like this. That will be the G major chord. So I've just taught you getting the formula of the major chords. So I've said we have so many types of chord, the major, minor, augmented, suspended, major seventh. So for instance, let me not go there, but for your knowledge, in the key of C, we have said triad chords. But in the interval, we can add the seventh. So playing the triad plus the seventh. So also in mastering the major chords, remember to write the names of the notes which you are playing. For instance, we played this in the C major chord. We played the C, the E, and the G. In the F sharp, we played the F sharp, the A sharp, and the C sharp. In the G sharp, we played the G sharp, the C, and the D sharp. Please write the names of the notes which you are playing to, which will help you a lot in understanding how major chords are formed and with which notes. So I've played the triad, but I have added the seventh interval in my triad. So I've played something like this. So that chord, I'm going to call it a C major seventh. Remember, this is a C major chord, major. you've seen the formula, but I've added the 7. So we are going to call this a C major chord, C major 7th chord, but that is not for now. I'm just bringing it into our knowledge. So I've tackled the major chord. Let us go now to the minor chord. The only difference between a major chord and the minor chord is the third here. The fifth and the first will remain, but the third, you are going to lower it by a semitone, or you are going to go a half step down. For instance, we are in the formula of in the F sharp. So a major chord of F sharp will play something like this. But if I play the minor, I'm going to lower the third and play something like that. So that will be a minor chord. So a minor chord is formed by playing the first. From the third, we are going to say the flat third. Remember, flats are played going to the left. So we are going to call this our flat third because it originates from the third. So going to the left flat. So the first, flat third, and the fifth. So that is how our minor chords are formed. So adding the octave, remember the octave always follow the grand note. So something like that, the minor. So in playing for instance, we have our C here. We have said C, E, G. So if you want to find the minor, we lower the third, flat third. I've said the first, flat third, and the fifth. Remember, the flat third is denoted by lowering the third. So the C minor chord will be played like this. Remember, the octave always follow the grand note. So that is our minor chord. In the key of F, the major. So we lower the third to get the minor. So we are going to play something like this. In our G, we played something like this in the major. So we are going to lower the third by a semitone lower, flat third. Remember, we are going to play something like this. So that we have already seen the formula of getting the major chords and the minor chords. Master the intervals, the octaves, all the previous lessons that you have learned, so that you can in the ease of getting the formulas. So we have said the major chords are played by the first, third, the fifth. Minor chords, the first, the flat third, and the fifth. So see you in the next lesson as you're going to tackle the other chords. For now, practice, like, and share my videos. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.